Plaintiff Lynn Lewis and her daughter April say April used to date the defendant, and Lynn never liked him because he was arrogant and disrespectful. Lynn claims after the defendant falsely accused April of cheating, he bashed in Lynn's car windows with his fists and April's car windows with a rubber mallet. So they're suing. Defendant David McCartney says the first time he met Lynn, she offered him a beer despite the fact that he was underage. David claims after he and April broke up, she claimed she was pregnant, but he doesn't believe the baby is his because she cheated several times. David admits damaging the vehicles, but insists it was out of anger.
Is there a Tremone in here? He asked me to sign a book in the back. Stand up, Tremone. Now, why the devil would you bring one of my books? I appreciate you having my book and wanting to read it, Inner City Miracle, but why would you bring me something you done stole from the library?
Okay, I'm gonna
We'll wait after the case. We'll wait till after the case. You can sit down. We'll talk with you in the back. You'll be our next case. Lord have mercy. Yes, ma'am. Tell me why you're suing him here.
Your Honor, Dave McCartney is my daughter's ex-boyfriend. I met him the summer of '06. He came to one of the family functions to my home. I asked the basic questions of him, how old he was, what year in school he was working to get his GED, what his plans were for college. And he looked at me and said, well, you know what? Your daughter told me you were gonna give me the 3rd degree. Now that you're done, can I call you Mom? I go, no, I'm sorry. I said, you have to earn that. They continued on seeing each other against my will.
Let me hear from you.
When I first met her mother, everything was fine. She even offered me a beer. I wasn't even of age to drink. But me and her daughter dated for about 6 months.
Your Honor, that's a lie.
She wasn't too honest with me at the time.
The daughter?
Her daughter, yes.
Uh-huh.
I believe she cheated on me quite a few times. A few months later, we broke up and she said she was pregnant.
State your name, young lady.
April Kaiser.
What do you want to tell me?
He thinks I cheated on him. I didn't. He can think whatever he wants.
The child.
It is his kid.
Ma'am, you had something else to say, maybe about the beer?
Absolutely not. My right hand to God. And if I'm lying, may God come down and strike me dead on the spot. I
Back up.
never
Back up.
offered you a beer at my home.
I'm not saying you're lying, it's
Your
just
Honor,
in case.
Your Honor, I have a
yes.
picture of the rubber mallet he used on the vehicles.
Okay, tell me about that.
Sunday morning, February 10th, my dad had came over for coffee and said, what happened to your windows? I called the police immediately. Later on, I realized it was David's fist that went through my window, and then he drove around to find my daughter's vehicle, and my daughter can pick up from there.
Go ahead.
Me and Dave got in an argument the night before. I was at a party and I told him he could come, whatever, but there was too many people there, so they didn't want him there. So he accused me of cheating on him. We got in an argument. He was calling me names, and the next morning when I got my mom's
Let me just tell you, I
phone
would
call-
have been suspect also. My woman go to a party. I try to go and get in the party with her. They say, it's all sold out, no more room for you, sir. She can come on in here with us.
Thank
We
you.
got one more spot, and then you actually go in. I would have said, I don't know, I would assume that most women would say, well, no, if my man can't come in, I'm not coming in, I'm going with him.
Exactly.
Plaintiff Lynn Lewis and her daughter April are suing April's ex-boyfriend, who doesn't believe he fathered April's baby because she cheated on him several times.
Go ahead, though.
Well, I did lie to him about having my car, and I was there to be with my friends, and my friends did not know Dave, so they didn't want him in their house because he also had friends along with him that wanted to come too. And I only told my friend him. We got in an argument, we stopped talking, and then I went to my friend's house, and he drove by my house, seen my car not there, so he decided to punch my mom's window out. He called me later that night, told me that he had sliced his hand, he got into a fight. But then once I found out my car's windows were smashed in, there was a rubber mallet in my back seat.
So he damaged both?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I
Let me
called
see the
him.
mallet you're showing me. What do you want to tell me about this, the windows, sir?
It's true. I did all that.
You want to tell me why?
Jealousy, anger. I know her mom definitely deserved it because when April was with me, she would call her plenty of times drunk, talking
Who
all
called plenty of times
Her
drunk?
mother would call her cell phone drunk.
Saying what?
Just, you know, I want you away from there, or else I'm taking your car away, I'm taking your phone away, you can't do nothing. She's 18 years old. She can, you know what I mean? She's old enough to do whatever she wants.
Nah, not quite if she's
Well,
living
not
under
quite,
her roof.
but she,
And she's still in high school.
Not if she's living under her roof and she's still in high school.
That's right.
You do what you want when you're not living under someone else's roof.
right, you're right. But
So,
she don't need to
Mom
threaten.
was right.
She don't need to
Drunk or
threaten.
no drunk. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's right. She just needed a little courage to tell you that. So she did not deserve that, young man. You're wrong. I hope you get your temper under control. $836 is your judgment. All right? Good luck to y'all.
And now a special throwback update as these litigants are back in Judge Mathis's courtroom. Plaintiff April Kaiser first appeared before Judge Mathis nearly 9 years ago as a witness for her mother who was suing April's ex-boyfriend David. April claims she broke up with David for good after she found his drug needles in their son's bag. And today, April's back in court to sue David's mother for stolen property. Defendant Donna Brandon is here with her son David today, who admits that he did struggle with drug addiction. However, David insists he has cleaned up his act, and Donna's countersuing April for an unpaid loan.
Start with you.
Well, I know Donna because I dated her son David for 10 years. In those 10 years, he's been on and off on drugs, and Donna has enabled him by ignoring it. It doesn't happen. She's told me, you know, things will get better. I've called her multiple times crying. Well,
Is he in court today?
yes, he is.
Was it heroin?
No, he
What?
was shooting Suboxones. And in December, I had found he had a book bag with, and we had my 8-year-old son's candy in his book bag. And I went to get a Jolly Rancher, and boom, right up in the open, 4 needles. Okay, and he denied it until I showed him the proof that I knew, and she basically.
All right, let me allow. You want to defend yourself, sir?
Of course.
Stand up and state your name.
Candy's too tired.
State your
David
name.
McCartney. She's not lying about that. I take full responsibility for that. I've also cleaned my act up.
You sound like it.
yes.
Person who takes full responsibility, that's the first step.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am,
However,
you wanted to say something? Mom wanted to
she's
say
not
something.
admitting to her little past she has. Go
Yes,
ahead.
I'd like to say something. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with
Yes,
scrub.
it does, because your son was on drugs and couldn't work. He lost his job because I have the letter, but I forgot it, that states why he lost his job. And so I was left to pay the bills.
Who
My
failed their-
family was
who
left
failed
to
their
pay the
nursing
bills.
drug test?
And nobody. But you can't function, can't even have a job to take care of. I've raised your 8-year-old son
How was
for
that
8
hydro you
years
took earlier?
with my mother's help.
How was the hydro you took earlier?
Okay,
Yeah.
he says he's in recovery though, and him standing
Yeah,
up
for the
and
5th time,
accepting
Your Honor.
responsibility, so maybe he is.
Plaintiff April Kaiser dated the defendant's son, but she claims she broke up with him after she found his drug needles in their son's book bag.
Your mom wanted to say something? Come on up. State your name.
Lynn Lewis.
All right.
Case in point, we stood in front of you February 8 years ago
The two of them?
because He smashed the windows of my vehicle out and my daughter's out 8 years ago, and you were so proud of him. 8
I
years.
was?
Yes. When you.
Wow, he was
when-
rehabbing
be-
again?
You're
Six. It was 6 years ago.
No,
Because
it
he
was
was
2008.
Because he was going?
He was going to be a skilled tradesman, and I'm so proud of you. You can make good money there.
Aiden was 3 months
You
old.
know, now you're
David,
10
February
years.
2008.
Enough is enough. 10 years.
Which, by the way, I have my certification in welding now. Advanced welding.
And he got the job, and he lasted for
Well, at
3
least
weeks.
he has it. I am proud of him.
That's
Now,
'cause-
I am proud of you.
That's because I had her as my driver.
I'm proud of you. You have your advanced certification, and you appear to be in recovery again.
Thank you.
So you clean up your act every time you're here. So that's
you.
what you need to do. Keep him coming.
Just like the drinks with her.
She's
Yeah.
all
Keep him
right.
coming.
She's not drinking
So,
too
Your
much
Honor.
as sharp as she looks today. You're mighty sharp over there.
Thank you.
are. Go ahead.
I had enough. I was disgusted to the fact that he could bring that junk into my house with our 8-year-old son, where it was. My son could have just opened it up to get a piece of candy.
Okay. He admits to that, ma'am.
Yes, yes,
You
I
want to
know.
move over
So
to his
he-
mother. How
Okay.
did you and his mother form a relationship, and what was that like? Because that's who you're suing today.
It was all. She was on
You
my
always had a
side.
good
She
relationship
understand.
with her?
Yeah, but
Okay.
until once me and her.
You're on withdrawals.
No. Me and him would have issues about, usually it was about the drug use. I also have a restraining order on him due to the fact that when he stayed with us, it's
You have
just,
to get
but he-
around to him. I'm like Mother
Yeah,
says, she
but he-
objects to this, ma'am.
she-
This isn't about him.
No, I know, but.
Well, then
Your
I'm
Honor,
not going to
she-
accept any more testimony about that.
Okay.
You
Happens
tell
every
me
time.
about your relationship with her. It was fine. It was good until you broke up with her son.
and yeah.
then things turned bad.
Yes.
Now allow her to give some background. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
I've known April approximately 10 years. Her and my son have had a relationship on and off for 10 years. April's a good person, but April also has a bad side. She was nice enough to offer my granddaughter some scrubs a day that my granddaughter and I went over to her house, hers and my son's house, apartment.
Not there, Your Honor. Your Honor.
And was talking to them about going to school to be a nurse.
No.
April said, "Oh well, that's
That is a
nice."
lie. That
Let her
is a
finish,
lie.
ma'am. She didn't
Okay.
interrupt you. She didn't say one word
Okay.
while you were saying all that.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So April was nice and offered her. She said, "I have a whole bunch of scrubs. I will let you use some of them." So Deneen was glad about that, and April, probably a couple weeks later,
Is that what the stolen property is about?
yes.
Scrubs? Oh, well, let her tell me. What happened?
Okay, this is what happened. I got a text message from Donna asking me if I could, if Deneen can borrow some scrubs. And at the time, I did not have a nursing job. I was at the time I wasn't working. Then, when was it?
But you had been a nurse.
Yeah, I'm a
But you
certified
failed
nursing.
the nursing drug test, and
No,
so
I was no.
well, that's what he said.
No, I was doing home care, Your Honor.
Okay. You
And
didn't
I was
need your
working 2
scrubs
jobs.
then? You didn't need your scrubs then?
Yes, I did. That's where I'm getting at. I tried texting her, asking where. I'm nervous. Excuse me.
Take your time. Go ahead.
But so I texted. No, I actually called her at work. She did not return my call. So I had text messaged David's father, and I have the text message stating that he said, Donna says you owe her $80 and she's holding them scrubs for ransom.
Plaintiff April Kaiser dated the defendant's son, but she claims she broke up with him after she found his drug needles in their son's book bag.
Let me see what you're reading.
Came
there.
over. Well, she came over my house alone. Me and her son were watching, if I remember correctly, Empire. She was not there. She was at work.
That's why we need to hurry up, because that comes on
Sorry.
tonight. few hours. Let's
Yeah.
get this going.
She was at work.
Get y'all out of here. Ma'am, did you say something about withholding the scrubs for $80, and does she owe you $80?
Yes, Your Honor. She had called me in December, a few days before Christmas, asked me if she could borrow $80. Actually, it wasn't April. It was my son that said April wanted to borrow it. So I wrote a check out for $80 for a loan. I wrote it on my memo that it's a loan so she could pay a bill. And I wrote it out. Well, it wasn't till a few months later that she asked for the scrubs back. And I don't understand that because at the time when my granddaughter got the scrubs from her, she had let us know 2 weeks after that she didn't need them anymore because she got red flagged for
did not
drugs
say that.
with the CNA. When she applied for 2 jobs, she got red flagged. So she said she didn't need the scrubs any longer.
For failing the drug.
Either throw them away, Donna, or give them to the Goodwill. And I said, I will gladly give you back what I have here, as long as you pay me back the $80 that I loaned you.
Did you borrow $80 from her?
Not borrow, no. It was
It was a
to pay
gift?
our. It was
Was
to
it-
pay our bills.
Who did she give? Who did you write the check out to?
April
ma'am?
Kaiser.
Did she write a check out to you?
Yes, but I did not cash it.
You
I
it-
have
you
I have my
it with
bank
you?
statement proving that from the bank that there is no.
No, you must have the check.
No, because
Okay.
I honestly don't remember what I did with it, but I know I did not cash
You do admit
it.
that she sent it to you. You say you didn't cash it.
I
but
can prove it
there's
with my
a
bank
presumption
account.
that you did unless you have the check with you today. And
You can't cash a check unless it's through a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my bank statement from them stating that there was no proof of an
no,
$80
there are other
check
ways
deposit.
to cash checks.
Not a personal check.
I got you. Yes, there are. The $80 I'll grant you, ma'am. Where's her property?
I have it right here with me.
You have it with you?
Yep, so it's right
All
here.
right, and we'll grant her her property. So you both win. That's a good deal, isn't it? Have a good day. Judge for the plaintiff and the defendant.
I honestly, I'm satisfied. I just wanted my stuff back, and that's what I got.
I think Judge Mathis did the right thing. I'm glad that I won my case, and I'm glad that April got her scrubs back.
April is,
Now she can leave me alone.
April is a good woman, but she has an evil side.
Yes.
I hope Dave straightens out for the sake of our kid, our child.